Hi, my name is Dr. Jason Baker and I teach percussion at Mississippi State University. Today I'm going to be performing and giving a brief tutorial on the prepared mallet etude for the 2015 Alabama All-State Audition. Before you watch this video, I'd encourage you to go to alabamamea.org and click on the 2015 High School Audition Repertoire to download the music for free for this etude. I'm going to begin by giving a full performance of the piece and then breaking down several of the sections. I hope you enjoy the video and I hope that it helps you prepare for the audition. Before we begin, I'd like to mention a few ideas that I find helpful in two mallet performance. If I'm performing this piece on a marimba, I want to choose a mallet that's going to be appropriate for this instrument and also for the range in which it's written. Since this music is written in the mid to upper register of the instrument, I find a medium hard yarn mallet to be very effective. When it comes to my grip, I grip a little bit further up the mallet to help balance some of the weight from the heavier mallet head out front, which is different from a drumstick that tapers out and gets lighter. Instead of gripping back here, I find that my control, my accuracy, and my tone quality are improved if I grip up to about here. If I'm performing this piece for an audition, chances are I'm not going to get a chance to practice on the actual instrument that I'm going to be auditioning on. For that reason, I find it very helpful to play on the edges of the sharps and flats. That'll help me in terms of my accuracy and just in terms of my navigation on the instrument. Also, if I'm going to be reading during the audition, what I want to do is position the music stand so it's low to the instrument, and also I try to move it between the sharps and flats so I can move it as close to me as possible. I'm going to start by breaking down the first line of this piece. And you'll notice from looking through the music that there are a lot of different expressive markings. When learning the notes and becoming comfortable with the rhythms, I want to ignore all of that at first, just so I can be really secure in my note accuracy and my rhythms. I'll begin by demonstrating the first line without any accelerando or diminuendo. Next, getting to the second line, I want to look at the rhythms that are there. I have some rolls, and then some quarter note triplets, and then some eighth note triplets. The common denominator of working through that whole line is going to be the eighth note triplet. So even though I'm playing a roll in the first bar, I want to be mentally subdividing the triplet, the eighth note triplet. That will set me up to be able to play the quarter note triplets accurately and then move into the eighth note triplets. As I play the roll, I always want to move with the hand that's going in the direction of where the next note is. For example, at the very beginning, I'm starting on a B flat, then I have to move to an F. I'm going to make that move with my right hand. From the F, I move down to a D, I'm going to make sure my left hand moves first. So that way I get the smooth, legato, slurred approach that's notated on the music. Next, on the third line, I want to make sure that I can control all of those 16th notes accurately before I add any of the expressive markings. When I reach the third measure, I'm going to use that as my climax and stay nice and strong on those eighth notes before diminuendoing and retarding on the six tuplets. Starting on the next line, which is marked Andante, I want to make sure I can control all of those notes and all of the movement between those notes accurately and confidently before I add any accelerando. I want to hold off any crescendo until the bar where it's marked, so that way I don't get too loud too soon. Going into the next passage, figuring out a sticking that works for you is going to be the most important thing. I can play through this passage with all alternating sticking with the use of 3 double right stickings. The first of which occurs between bar 16 and bar 17. On the of 4, the last 16th note of bar 16, we have a D and then a C on the downbeat of bar 17. I play those with 2 rights and then continue on with alternating sticking. My next double right is also in bar 17, in the first 2 16th notes of the third beat. That's from a G to an E flat. The last double that I have is in measure 18. From the last 16th note in the second beat, the of 2, going to the downbeat of 3, D to C. I perform that as a double right as well. Once I have those double rights in place, I can perform the rest of the 16th notes with alternating right, left sticking. It's important to make sure you have control of the rhythm and control of the pitches first using these stickings before adding any additional expressive markings. The very last part of this etude, measures 19 and 20. Again, we have an accelerando into a retardando. Take those out first to simply control the notes. And as I'm doing that, what I want to do is bring out the line that is moving. We notice in bar 19, the bottom line, the left hand, is moving and should be brought out. And in the last measure, measure 20, it changes to the right hand. I want to be very careful in doing this that I'm not getting a flam, that both mallets are still hitting the keyboard at the same time. However, I'm going to use a little bit extra pressure and extra weight on the moving line to help bring out that melody. I hope you you've enjoyed this video, hope it's been helpful to you. I encourage you to contact me at the email address on your screen if you have any questions. I'd like to wish you the very best of luck.